Hey guys, I want to welcome you to the weekly Wednesday for the Financial Freedom newsletter, where every week, every Wednesday, we delve into something inspirational, motivational, something excerpt taken from the Financial Freedom weekly newsletter. Wherever you are, if you're listening on Spotify, on iTunes, Google, be sure to click the like, subscribe, share, comment. And without ado, let's get into the show. Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. I'm really excited about today's guest, Meghan Clor, and she is a marketing expert. She helps overwhelmed business owner automate their presence online. And so basically they can get time and location freedom. She's the co-founder of AutomateMe, a digital marketing agency. And so today's topic is really going to resonate with the female entrepreneurs in the audience: client attraction secrets, social media, introverts as well, introversion, extroversion. And I'm really excited for the show. So Meghan, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, like I said, your story will resonate with the audience. So tell us more about your background and we'll dive right into the episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I started out in the online world, having a bigger vision, wanting to have, the freedom, be able to travel everywhere, all that fun stuff versus being stuck at a specific location. And I started out in the health coaching world. And that was something where that was a passion of mine. And I helped a lot of people, grew an audience, stumbled through it, fumbled through all of the steps, realized along the way I had people reaching out like, well, how did you grow your following? How did you do this? How did you launch your course? And more people were asking. And I just kind of stumbled into this new marketing aspect of helping people to essentially do the same thing and make the marketing less complicated and simplify it. So that's a huge part of it. People try to be on every single platform and do all these things, and it becomes you're working more than you were working in your full-time job, and you're supposed to be doing this for freedom. So that's what we do now.
Yeah, it's interesting because, there was Clubhouse, and then I realized that I was getting social media overwhelmed when Clubhouse was coming and everybody was rushing onto it. And then I quickly built a following of 1,000, really quickly. And then it died out. So nobody's on Clubhouse. So it was just a waste of energy. And it was just and then now there's Threads, and then TikTok was going to quote get banned. I'm there's this
Right. Yeah, it's complicated, and it's just knowing where to focus. And that's the thing, when you get back to basics of marketing, the nice thing is marketing was around way before social media. So there's plenty of things that you can do as foundational things in your business to grow that you can utilize on social media, but you don't have to rely on social media. And that shouldn't be the main thing, because just like you mentioned, it disappears and all of a sudden your hard work, your followers, all that just goes away.
Yeah.
That's the not smart way to run a business online. So
yeah. So one thing is, you talk about using social media and not letting social media use you. So this idea of turning followers into customers and the secret to high converting content, expand on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big disconnect that I see with a lot of the clients that we take on in our agency and help out is they're told, just show up on social media and you're going to start getting clients. You're going to start, growing your following, and then eventually that'll lead to money in your bank account. And unfortunately, it's not as simple as that. And a lot of people end up going on social media and just, free content over free content and just putting everything out there. They become almost like they're relying on the algorithm. And then, Instagram algorithm changes. Oh no, now I have to do dancing on Reels and I have to become a pro dancer. Or, another app comes out and now I have to learn this whole new app. And that's we don't work for these platforms, right? We're supposed to be having these platforms work for us. So when you, instead of focusing on all of those things and instead focus on your messaging and really hone in on who your ideal client is and how you can help them cross that bridge from where they are to where they want to be, you can be on any platform, or you can have your own email marketing, or you can have anything out there and it will resonate with those people and get them to become leads, prospects, and clients.
So I have a friend because he's a influencer, but he was spending so much time and a couple of his Instagram accounts he got like impersonated and his accounts got hacked and he like 100,000 followers. He lost it like just in he had no control. And so instead of like spending so much time on these platforms, he started investing in the companies. And that was like his kind of because he was spending so much time on them.
Yeah, that's
uh,
a smart thing. Instead of being a consumer, be an investor of them.
which was funny. You talk about messaging. So messaging over volume and quality over quantity, attracting high quality leads with minimal content, leverage, working smarter. Explain to the audience about that.
Sure thing. Again, going back to the whole like trying to post like a ton of content and grow your following, a lot of times people are focusing on the number of followers they have, which is kind of a vanity metric, over how many leads they're having. And leads means, people opting into your emails, because then that's a lead of yours. Even if the social media goes away, that's somebody that's in your network. And because people focus on that, they're just trying to grow their following instead of being like, okay, what type of content can I create that's going to get people off of the platform and onto my email list, get people off of liking my posts and into my DMs asking, how can I work with you? And the way that you create the type of content to do that is, instead of saying, quick tips, like 3 tips to lose, 10 pounds over the next 30 days, and you give them like a whole packaged, here you go, take it and run with it, and they never come back to you. You want to instead say, here's the reason why you haven't been able to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, because you've tried X and you've tried this diet and this diet and this diet. Instead, if you focus on whatever your system is, then that's the missing link. Would you like to learn more about it? I put together a free training, or DM me for details, or book a call. So it brings them to that next step as a lead instead of just a follower.
Oh, that's really insightful, because one thing is you talk about what you do is the secret behind creating content that not only gets engagement but also converts the followers into customers, because ultimately you want the sales. You don't want the likes and shares. You want to actually create monetary value out of it.
Likes don't grow your bank account.
The other question is for introverts, because you yourself isn't you're an introvert. I'm an introvert, and I had to like develop that skill to get up in front of the camera. So how do introverts win online, like with YouTube, TikTok, Reels, harnessing the power of authenticity and digital marketing?
I love that question. Yeah. So fellow introverts, that always like hits my heart most, because I've gone through the struggles. I used to hate being on camera. I was awkward as can be. I hid from I didn't want to be visible online. I tried to avoid it for the longest time. And then obviously, that hurts your bottom line. So instead I got over the fear and I just started showing up and I started practicing. And honestly, just practicing, it's a comfort zone thing. So the more you kind of do something that scares you a little bit, but there's a bigger mission on the other side of it, the easier it is to be like, okay, I'm just going to do this right now. And then you start to get a little bit better. You get more comfortable with it. Now, as far as being authentic though, that doesn't mean, jump on all the trendy dancing reels. Like when those first came out there, I was like, there's no way I'm ever doing that. Like, no. So, but okay, what are you looking at? The fact that videos are grabbing attention on a marketing angle. It's like, okay, people are really wanting to consume short form video. What's a way that I can create a video that's going to be authentic to me while still being part of that type of viral aspect? So just creating information reels where you're, talking either direct to camera. You can even do ones that don't have your face and it just has your voice, and you have maybe motivational photos or a video of like nature. You can do so many things that are still putting out your voice without having to try to be somebody you're not.
Can you talk about the moment of realization you had about your messaging being the missing link and how that altered your approach to content creation?
Yes. Okay. So I mentioned before that I started out in the health coaching industry. And just like everybody else, I had this dream vision of work-life freedom and all that fun stuff, and was creating content on top of more content. And it wasn't bringing me clients. It was getting me people being like, that's so inspiring, or yay, I'm going to try this. But it's like, okay, where are the coaching clients? And I realized, and this is something that a lot of people make the mistake on is like, I wasn't clear on my offer, and I wasn't clear, and I wasn't putting it out there. Like I had a resistance or, fear of selling. I wasn't really confidently saying, here's how I can help you. Here's what my program is. Here's how it's different. If you're interested, here's what to do next. And you don't have to do this in all of your content, but you want to make sure, like when somebody first follows you on your whatever social media platform, they're probably going to binge consume the first few pieces of content. You want to make sure that there's somewhere in there talking about how you can help them, what you do, and what the next step is, versus just tips that they can take and run with.
Yeah, that's so important, especially in, today's society, and really this fear of selling. And every time I come out with like a launch, it's, you feel this in your gut. It's like, oh, what if it flops, or what if it fails? But like, I love this idea of being clear and just basically putting it out there, showing up and just basically being, this is what you offer. Which is really interesting is this era of ChatGPT, and now this ability for AI. And how is the role of artificial intelligence in digital marketing, and how is AutomateMe using this technology?
Yeah. So that's a big one. And it's something that people are either scared to even think about or want to avoid it at all costs. And then there's people who are diving right in. And then there's a lot of people I find in the middle where they're kind of dipping their toe in it. They're like, I think this is going to help, but then it's kind of a little bit in the middle. So that's what I'll talk about most, because that's where we help people is if you're already planning to use AI like ChatGPT, for example, on the content creation side, it can absolutely save you a ton of time. However, if the content that you're creating right now hasn't generated any leads for you and it's not bringing you in clients, asking ChatGPT to then plug a similar thing into ChatGPT and be like, create more content like this for me, it's not going to do anything. It's not, you're just, again, wasting your time. So what you want to do is treat those platforms kind of like almost like a mentor or a coach. Like ask it like, what is a way that I can, if I gave you this piece of content, can you tell me if it's clear what I do and what I offer and who I help? And it'll tell you. Or you can ask like, here's my Instagram bio. Can you audit this and tell me, is it clear? And start getting more clear on your messaging. So then once you do that, that's what people are going to be able to then refer you to friends and family. They're going to reach out and start DMing you because it's clear messaging.
Yeah. What about this, this era? Because now artificial intelligence software, this ability to create viral videos and basically grow your following.
So viral stuff, yeah, that's definitely not my expertise at all, because I'm, again, about, quality over quantity. And getting visibility is huge. That's a big deal for sure. But if you're getting visible for the wrong reasons, all of a sudden you're going to get a ton of followers that aren't your ideal client. And then when you create more content, it's going to go to those people who are never going to be a buyer or an investor in the first place. So yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword there. It's like, yes, it gets you visibility, and yes, it grows your followers. But if you try that and it's not growing your bank account, I would look at different strategies.
Which is really interesting. What are some resources on your journey to getting that expertise? What are some that people can look into, leverage, check out?
Resources as far as for what type of stuff?
Like podcasts, audiobooks, books, YouTube channels.
Yeah. As far as resource, my recommendation, honestly, is getting consulting or getting one-on-one feedback or advice or audits or anything like that, because while listening to YouTube videos and trainings and everything can be helpful, if you're in the middle of growing your business, my mistake was waiting too long to invest in mentors. And once I did that, I realized like everything changed so much quicker, because somebody was actually looking at what I thought I was doing right. They're like, oh, no, you need to tweak this, or you need to change this, or what have you thought about this? Or you're shrinking back here and you need to show up better. So whether it's paying for a mentor, or it's just finding somebody in your community, or somebody, there's so many Facebook groups out there of people that are in your community that are maybe business minded. There's a lot of local business Facebook groups. Something like that could be so powerful, because then you can start building your network and bounce ideas off of people who are like-minded. That's the biggest thing. Like, get around as many like-minded people as possible so that you're not doubting yourself and you're getting more encouragement.
And as we come to kind of the end, I want to end with two questions. One is balancing the need for presence with maintaining your own personal well-being. And you talked about not trying to be on every platform, but basically, sticking to your guns, sticking to your message. And then also, the journey is long. So you almost quit several times, but what kept you going, and how do you help your clients stay motivated?
Yeah, love that. So mindset is the biggest part. It really is. In business, like I was in Tony Robbins' Business Mastery, and I remember, he had tons of business strategies and all those kind of things. But one of the main things, he's like, business is 80% psychology and mindset. And it's so true. It's as soon as you have, if you're thinking before a launch, oh, what if this doesn't sell? And then you don't show up as well as you could. So then it doesn't sell. And then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And then you quit and you don't try it again because it didn't work. It's like the more that you can surround yourself with positive, and that's something definitely on YouTube and podcasts and everything, soak up as much mindset and positivity as possible to keep you going in those moments where you want to give up on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. So how can people contact you, check out your website, reach out to you and work with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do both. We do done for you agency things where we create your funnels for you, the automation, the content, all of the stuff so that you don't have to learn how to do it yourself. And we kind of show you how to do it in the process as well. So you learn as we do. And then we also train people on how to do it for themselves if they want to just get in and become marketing experts themselves for their own business. So as far as the next step, I would say I have a free training that you can look up if you want. And that is if you go to AutomateMe, where you'll see a video. And if that's something that's interesting to you, you can go ahead and book a call with me and we can chat further about how to get started.
Yeah. And for the audience out there, Meghan's story really resonates, and all of her resources will be in the links and show notes, and fantastic discussion on basically your ideal client and tailoring your message, staying true. And thanks so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. It was great speaking with you.
I hope you really enjoyed that wonderful, inspirational, motivational piece. Again, wherever you are listening, if you liked it, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. We're on everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Google, Amazon, Audible. And without much ado, be sure to thank this show's sponsors, and we'll see you next week.